We've got the hostage. Now it's just a matter of escaping. Hey everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with my blind reaction to episode 9 of One Punch Man Season 3. And yeah, last time Child Emperor managed to rescue our imprisoned child. I can't remember his name. I can never remember his name. This little rich bitch kid. But he rescued him. He managed to fight off some enemies using his tech, but he's running out of gadgets. And so they're trying to escape. We have some other shenanigans going on, some other battle stuff. Flashy Flash had a pretty cool battle. And yeah, while some heroes are still going to be doing what they can to fight off the monsters and take care of that problem, one of the big things we need to focus on right now is getting this kid out of here. Because he can't fight or defend himself or do anything. He's just, a potential victim. I hate to say it that way, but he really is. And so Child Emperor needs to work on getting him to safety before anything else. And honestly, considering that was the brunt of the goal, maybe they should get out of there. Just in general, start to pull back at least, because they don't know about the other kid being in there. Garo's friend. I can't remember names. I remember names like Garo and Child Emperor, but I don't remember the kids. But they don't know about him being in there, so they don't have a reason to stick behind for him. If they can find him and rescue him as well, that would be great. I would love that. But we haven't seen him since Garo told him to leave before, getting into a fight. So we have no idea what's going on with him. On top of that, we do also technically still have whatever's going to be going on with King's plan. We have not seen anything in regards to that since King left before the fights outside even happened. We have not seen anything following up on King's plan. King was going off on his own, obviously, because he also doesn't want to fight. But he was going to go off and work with Silverfang, with Bomb, with all of them. Also probably try to find Saitama, who we also haven't seen since this all really started. So it's at this point kind of just a matter of seeing if anything does actually come to pass with that. There's also other heroes we haven't seen really get into action yet. Pig God is one I still really want to see exactly what he can do. We haven't seen much with Puri Puri Prisoner. And just, other various heroes here and there. And I would love to see more with them. But we'll see how it goes. There's still other, big monsters to face here, so maybe we will, maybe we won't. I don't know at this point. But I'm still very much enjoying this. I think Season 3 has been absolutely fantastic. And I can't wait to see, how it continues to go leading into the end game. Because we are, closing in on the final parts of this season. So let's get into it and see what we have in store. Hold up just a sec. Before you click that link down in the description below to get to today's video, I want to remind you of all the awesome content we have both on this channel and the Princess of Gaming channel. Let's check it out. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So, Waganma, I understand. Like, this kid is like, what, 12 max? I don't even think he's that old, honestly. He's a kid. He's scared out of his mind, especially after seeing that fight. I understand that a scared kid is going to do something like this. I can't 100% hold it against him, but I'm still gonna be pissed. Because it's like, it's still a huge dick move. Like, even if there's like a reasonable like cause for it, it's still a dick move, and it still sucks. But yeah, and you can tell he feels bad about it. Like, you could tell he was sweating and he looked very unsure when he was saying that. Which I'm glad that he has enough conscience to him, considering a lot of things, that he understands that hiding that is wrong. He's still doing so, but at least he understands that he's in the wrong here. He very clearly does. And I have to give some credit there. Hopefully, things will work out and he'll either come clean or they'll end up finding the other kid anyway. Something along those lines. Zombie Man being the one person to congratulate and thank Child Emperor on behalf of the others makes sense. Like, I could also see Super Alloy Blackluster doing so, but like the likes of Tatsumaki or Amai Masks never would. Puri Puri Prisoner would. I think he would. He's very complimentary towards others. I think he would do so as well. But Zombie Man makes sense. That one absolutely tracks. Um, so I'm glad that someone at least did so, because he absolutely deserved it after everything. He put forth so much effort and succeeded, though it took a lot out of him, and he did underestimate Phoenix Man. But yeah, it's like this episode also focusing almost entirely on Child Emperor, outside of that little scene with Saitama, was a smart move, because we got like half of the episode last time focused on that, and so now we have even more this time. It's like it built into this, and building up to the reveal of Phoenix Man's power, which I really should have seen coming. I'm actually a little upset at myself for not. Like I said in the reaction, the Phoenix is my favorite mythical creature. Like, just in all of like mythology and folklore and whatnot. And it's because of the resurrection thing. Um, the idea of basically shedding your old self to give way to the new is something that I, hold especially close to myself. Um, because of being, trans and non binary, but also just based on, like, my morals and sense of self and whatnot. I've talked about it before on the channel, but I used to, like, say and do some pretty shitty stuff. I was never, like the worst of the worst or anything, but I would say and do stuff that I didn't realize was bad because I was raised into it. A lot of like I would say things that just aren't okay to say. We'll just put it that way. Um, you could even like call some of them slurs and all that. I didn't realize were slurs, and I had to be told, and I had to be like taught this by other people, and just eventually had to come around to changing myself. I was also like surprisingly, I was pretty transphobic at a time. Obviously, well before I came out as trans, and I understand it was self projected self hatred, projected self. I didn't need to say self there. Projected self hatred. I understand that now, of course, but yeah, I was pretty transphobic for quite a while. I was homophobic for a while, and it's just like I've had to like work past all of this like bit by bit to come to terms with a lot about myself, but, you know, also just I needed to become a better person. And so I had to die to my old self. I had to, you know, change who I was by leaving that old self behind and becoming someone new. And so the Phoenix, like, has kind of been a representation of my own journey for me. And even prior to all of that, I just thought the Phoenix was fucking cool. If I'm being completely honest. I just thought the idea of like a creature that is like so sick of its own life that it tricks the sun god into killing it and then resurrects to start life anew was just a fucking cool idea. It's just a good concept. So yeah, sometimes that's what it takes, but the fact that it also did like end up becoming relevant to my life like makes it mean so much more. And so I really should have seen that coming. Um I also kind of feel to a much lesser degree I should have seen the idea of Child Emperor having a mech coming as well. Cuz even though we have like other heroes who have had like mech suits and robots that they control to do their hero work, like we've seen that kind of thing before, but I don't think we've seen like a full on like Gundam style mech like this in in this series. And it makes sense because Child Emperor's entire thing is he doesn't have powers, he has technology. He has all of this insane technology, and what would be kind of like the ultimate expression of that in terms of like, you know, superhero logic, it would be a mech suit. It would absolutely be something like this. I mean, you think of like Iron Man with Marvel and whatnot. I believe Batman's had a mech suit or two, and so on and so forth. You think of heroes like this, and it's like, yeah, they've had mech suits, and some of them like can only even like do anything with them because they don't have powers, like Iron Man. And Child Emperor definitely seems like, yeah, he would reach that inevitable point. But most of his stuff is just these little gadgets, these little like inventions. And that's cool, they're all great. But having a mech is like his ultimate like final weapon makes sense. I also like that it has such a notable limit too. It can only stay active for 3 minutes, with danger of exploding and whatnot otherwise. Because you see a lot of times in comic books and comic book movies and shows and stuff, a lot of times these mechs don't really have those kind of limits. Like, yeah, the mechs can be like destroyed or messed with or like, I don't know, hacked. There's definitely ways that they have like weaknesses and limitations, but it's usually not a time limit, at least from what I've seen. It's usually their weaknesses don't just come into play with like, oh, this thing's just super fucking unstable and can only stay in power for 3 minutes without it like collapsing in on itself, basically. I think that's such a neat idea, and it makes a lot of sense because the amount of energy and just, you know, power that something like that would need, it would not be able to logically run for that long. It would have a time limit, you would think. So yeah, I really enjoy that. And I like Child Emperor, like the way he finally did end up defeating Phoenix Man was tricking him into pulling off his own suit because of the tickle bug. That's wonderful. And it's using his natural intelligence as his like true final weapon, like more so than even the mech. It's just his intellect that won him the day, and I like that. Kind of sucks that he thinks Flashy Flash is dead though. Um, but also the two ninja are alive, and that's surprising. I thought Flashy Flash killed them. Apparently, he just destroyed their clothing. And they went and, I don't know, tried to harass Saitama, but then ran away because they couldn't. And we're honestly just kind of like freaked out and confused at the moment anyway. But yeah, this episode pretty much just centered around that, but I'm glad we did catch up with Saitama again. He's not really doing much at the moment because, as I've stated before, Saitama has to kind of take a back seat in this arc because otherwise it would be too easy and it would be over like in no time. Saitama taking a back seat and kind of like just getting lost underground is the right kind of humorous way to do this as well because it totally just fits in with One Punch Man's style of comedy. It makes sense and it allows for the arc to exist. Because again, if Saitama actually got in on this, he would kill every monster in one hit. That's literally his thing. No matter who they are, no matter how powerful they are, not a single one would survive. Because that is Saitama's entire thing. That is his gag. He is One Punch Man. He can and will defeat any opponent in about one punch. Sometimes he might purposefully like lower his strength to like see if he can actually have a challenge, like he did with the alien guy from at the end of season 1. He was purposefully using weaker punches, but like even the alien guy said, it's like, oh no, if you actually tried, you would have taken me out like that. It's like even he acknowledged that Saitama was holding back intentionally. It was just, yeah. People don't seem to understand. I've talked about this before, but like that is Saitama's entire gimmick. And even if there were someone that would conceivably be stronger than him, he automatically becomes stronger. Like if fighting them, because that's literally his thing. He is the strongest thing in existence. And if something were to come along, or if someone were to come along that would be stronger, he just becomes stronger automatically. Orochi, Gyoro, they would be taken out in one hit. This arc could not exist if he were not sidelined. But it is good to see him again. He hasn't like been found by King, Bomb, Bang, or Fubuki yet. So I guess we'll wait and see if that happens. But yeah, I'm very excited to see where this goes now. Because we only have like a handful of episodes left. And we've still got plenty of heroes who we really haven't seen like really in action. And I'm very curious to see like who we see next, who's focused on after this. And we still have to find this other kid too. Like we finally actually like talked about that again, even if it was just, Waganma thinking about it while he lied out of fear. But I'm glad that we're like touching on that again because it's been a little bit. It's been a few episodes. So all of that being said, tell me in the comments below what you thought of this episode of One Punch Man Season 3. And for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.